Gang stalking is real to your household, and you're not doing it for likes, if you're a clout chasing a fan. My last video was interrupted by whoever's controlling the background scenes at the end of the day. They interrupted me already twice, but I do not live in fear, and I will never hurt myself. And I walk these streets alone, and I say it respectfully. Gang stalking is real to your household. Today is currently December 15th, 2025. I would never hurt myself regardless who's threatening my life or who's trying to blackmail me against me, and I state it respectfully. Always be yourself when someone tries to dim your light. Gang stalking is real until your household. Never give up on yourself or get distracted because someone doesn't want you to pursue loving yourself, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. They wanted to jinx you, but irrelevant at the end of the day. God truly shows you potential. Being misled by the devil, hold on 1 second. God truly show you balance when it comes to acknowledging you worth. You're lame. They would never understand. It was never for fame. Likes if it's a clout chasing or game. That energy is different. I love myself not to dim my light. You try to discourage me all because I took the opportunity to love myself properly. That energy is different when it comes to your lack of self-control. How these type of chicks induce the end of the day. They looking for a reaction for you to be a crash out, but far from pretending. They got a hacking device to keep themselves irrelevant at the end of the day. Only runs our conscience ain't the same. You wear that son of a bitch, and I say that shit respectfully. Hold on 1 second. This is the part where they said the end of you a crash out, but far from that. At the end of the day, how chicks and dudes would try to make you seem at the end of the day you mentally unstable, you slow, stupid, and retarded because they behind the scene trying to dim you, like to discourage you. They want you to be in the mindset of living fair, not choosing you. Your next door neighbor, different tax bracket. It didn't matter. They tax bracket at the end of the day, all their culture, all because, hold on 1 second, they forgot to love themselves when it came to their boundaries, staying in their lane. They want you to be in the mindset of living in fear at the end of the day because you believe in faith that, hold on 1 second, it was never a race. No, it's a train of thought for me. How this type of stuff actually happens at the end of the day. Never get discouraged or dim your light. And I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself when I say that respectfully. Love yourself, don't dim your light. Love yourself, don't dim your light. Love yourself, don't dim your light when you're far from a hater. Love yourself, don't dim your light. Love yourself, don't dim your light. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. Gang stalking is real to your household, and you're not doing it for likes, if you're a clout chasing fame. I would never hurt myself regardless to who's behind the scenes and controlling what they're doing at the end of the day. I don't live in fear, and I would never hurt myself. I am far from a hater. I was just live at the end of the day. Today is currently 12/15/2025. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. Regardless to if someone doesn't see potential within you, or regardless to if someone doesn't want you to prosper in life, that does not mean stop choosing yourself, and I say that respectfully. Regardless of what man, woman, couple, elderly, or child in the day is threatening my life, or who has me shadow banned, I would never stop choosing myself, and I say that respectfully. I am far from a crash out, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself. When G.O.D. spent the block, the energy is different. I ain't have to put a tie and suit on at the end of it to actually pray to go within. Understand the motivation is different. It's going to bother someone's mental when it comes to weathering a storm they can't relate to. Hold on 1 second. Confidence going within. Only because they overlook themselves. Oh, because you believe something they can relate to. Stable. Hold on 1 second. Because you came with poverty and pain. Being misled by the devil on the enemy. Is going to have them choked up at the end in their own chokehold, all because they was competing. Only because, hold on 1 second, what happened to your awareness, self-conscious? Hold on 1 second, thinking for yourself at the end of the day, being authentic. How you a copycat and you trying to dim somebody's life at the end, they not put respect on their name, all because, hold on 1 second, they understood facts. No, ever Trey told me how this type of stuff really happens. I was just live in the first live at the end of the day. Regardless to who just did what they did at the end of the day, I would never hurt myself. Gang stalking is real. Individuals will monitor your devices. They will try to blackmail you against you at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. They will hack your devices, your accounts, your emails, try to rob you mentally, spiritually, and financially, even project sport towards you. They will even try to energy harvest off your energy. But every time I call my energy back, I'm doing with a good intention at the end of the day, because you truly whack. How you say you got potential at the end of the day, but you acting like a bitch, hold on 1 second, acting like you got a pocketbook between your legs. It be the train of thought for me. How these witch, these warlocks, these covenants, or whatever the case may be, how they look at you like with potential. They try to mislead you, to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, say that nobody's going to be your equal, actually see your growth at the end of the day, because you loved in yourself. Understand that, hold on 1 second, I was far from a monitoring spirit. I ain't have to dibble and dabble, ask your child over, invade your space. I knew how to respect my neighbor when I was trying to catch a case. I wasn't running from my past when it comes to my reflection. That energy is different when it comes to unconditional love. Balance. No, I have to trade off for me, you weirdo. I said what I said. Say, check yourself, neighbor. You the one that's a hater. You didn't understand the blessing at the end of the day, even understanding your own weather. How you trying to dim somebody's light, but you don't know how to love yourself. You dibble and dab with magic, playing with spoken and toxic because someone understood their wealth. You know health. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, we live in a spiritual realm. At the end of the day, when someone know how to fix their crown, regardless what they going through, trials and tribulations, at the end of the day, yeah, I heard just the last person out the end of the day. How you had to knuckle up with the next chick or dude, or to make you feel that they were relevant. Hold on 1 second. You had the proper tools to understand and stay in your lane. It be the train of thought for me. How you project your own mind games. No other trade off for me. Why would I want to quit? When I'm showing up for my reflection. Regardless, you gang stalking me. Hold on 1 second. I was holding God's position. I ain't have to worship the devil alone, sell my soul, keeping it real at the end of the day. Didn't matter each holiday. Hold on 1 second. Regardless if I ain't celebrate or not, I still know how to respect my neighbor. No other trade off. Only be yourself. You know, gang stalking is real to your household, and you're not doing it for likes and views. You know, regardless to when I'm trying to heal and people keep attacking me or disrespecting me or who's behind the scene at the end of the day trying to make me feel like I'm not irrelevant or trying to pay me out to be something actually not. At the end of the day, when I'm far from a crash out, I would never hurt myself. I walk these streets alone. I do not live in fear. And I say that respectfully. You know, regardless if you're an entrepreneur or not, never give up on yourself. I was just currently live on the first live. This is my second live of the evening. Today is currently December 15th, 2005, and it's currently 11:01 p.m. You know, individuals would try to blackmail you against you. They would try to disrespect you. They would try to kick you down, monitor your every move, and project spoke on you. You don't have to know somebody for someone to sing the evil eye. You don't have to know that man, that woman, that couple, that elderly person, or that child in the day for someone to try to blackmail you against you or to project a hate crime towards you or to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, or even energy harvest off your energy. How this type of stuff actually happens. I would never hurt myself and I say that respectfully. They said your lights was off, but hold on 1 second. The elevator actually worked when it come to my thinking. That energy is different. I never understood when they said 7:30 at the end of the day. Was you talking about the top or was you talking about your side, like shoe side? It be the train of thought for me. Hold on 1 second when it come to your conscience. Hold on 1 second, along on your age. Because you know when it comes to we live in a spiritual world, certain folks don't be acting it. Here's be the train of thought for me. You know, believing in yourself, being authentic regardless of certain folks' mental health. I may not make sense to the average person, but become my own worst enemy wasn't part of my vocabulary. I understood my intuition to become my best self vision of myself. Wasn't doing it for likes, views, or clout chasing, no fame. When God was showing me balance, allowed me to feel that, hold on 1 second, I was worthy to overcome pain. You know, always be yourself when I say that respectfully. I love to talk about love. Love is rare, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you. You know, it was far from a quit. Fumbling you at the end of the day wasn't part of a reflection of a future because it wasn't a mistake. Someone fumbled you when it came to your past. Someone didn't understand the intuition that true love can truly last. How someone wanted to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially. Only was the hold on 1 second that motivation is different. When God truly showed you balance that someone could truly love you with actual potential, emotionally available, who would have knew that someone sees you, not to overlook you? The energy is different. Someone sees you, someone's not overlooking you. Now that changed off of me. You know, someone brings you peace Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just because moments, that energy is different. You know, you gain the love of best friend, a business partner. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. When someone's cheering you on up close, a person behind closed doors, that energy is different. You know, when the devil try to stay in the wrong direction, but you on divine's timing, who would have knew that two people could truly pray differently, but truly love each other in the same way? Hold on 1 second, healthy love. You know, it may not make sense to the average person. Never give up on yourself when someone wants to distract you, humiliate you, look for reaction, try to antagonize you. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. I was just recently live today. Today's currently December 15th, 2005. And this is my second live for this evening. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I go live every night on YouTube at 10:15 p.m. Regardless to who's in the background trying to rob me mentally, spiritually, financially, or who's trying to blackmail me against me or trying to project any negative energy towards me, I say this respectfully. I do not live in fear and I would never hurt myself. And you can continue to do what you do at the end of the day because I love myself, regardless of what zip code, county, or country I'm in at the end of the day. I would never hurt myself. An individual will try to project on you to make you like you insecure, slow, stupid, and retarded. They would try to paint a picture at the end of the day that somebody you truly not in the day because they trying to get a reaction out of you. How they would hack your devices, your accounts, your emails, monitor your packages, monitor your packages, your mail, reroute your mail, your package, or even act like you got at the end of the day. They even project sport towards people that's trying to come towards you. They would even try to humiliate you with your past when you don't run from your reflection. That ain't just different. Motivation. I would never hurt myself regardless of what man, woman, child, elderly, or couple is monitoring my every move or who's trying to bring harm towards me or gang stalk me or trying to strip anything from me. Because when I put everything in my heavenly mother, Father God's hands, it was never for clout chasing or likes and views or clout chasing or fame. And I said it respectfully. When I said what I said, I hailed you, attack me. I hailed you, attack me. And I called my energy back. How individuals would invade your space and say that you're mentally unstable and then trying to blackmail you against you. How they would watch every move. It didn't matter what tax bracket someone worked in that day when it came to someone's field for someone to try to humble you. But you've been humble this whole entire time because you on God's timing, a child of God. That ain't just different. They try to walk a day, they can't walk a day in your shoes when it comes to understanding your faith, how God allows you to see why you truly heal. Healing, trauma, and pain's not a race overnight process. I would never hurt myself regardless to who's trying to blackmail me against me. Gang stalking is real to your household. I am my biggest cheerleader regardless to who don't believe me or not at the end of the day. Individuals will say that nobody's going to believe when you speaking your truth at the end of the day. How individuals would take your kindness or weakness, plot scenes or plot certain things in your life at the end of the day to try to disrespect you and blackmail you against you, all because you spoke up for yourself because someone decided to take your kindness or weakness. And because they don't like the fact that it was you, and they don't like the fact that you spoke up for yourself, they attacked you. They attacked you. You healed. You healed. They attacked you. They attacked you. You healed. You healed. They didn't want you to heal. They wanted you to be insecure. But God had the last say. We ain't worship the devil. They would never understand. God wasn't a mistake. Individuals would say, where your God at now when they got your back against the wall because they're trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially. Or they're trying to paint you up to be something that you're not at the end of the day. Never give up on yourself. I'm Naya, Genuine Love Spot, and my content is not for everybody. I go live every night on YouTube at 10:15 p.m. I was just recently live today before it got cut off or whatever the case may be. This is my second live for YouTube for this evening. My content is not for everybody. Individuals will try to project distractions towards you, insecurity towards you. They would try to make you feel like you have to live in fear. But when the right people walk into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with no malicious intentions, and I say that respectfully. I am far from a hater. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. To the genuine ones on intentions, just because someone that I love you, respect you, protect you, or meet you halfway, you matter and you are worthy. Never give up on yourself because someone overlooked you or someone threatened your life that you won't prosper in life or someone saw potential within you and they said at the end of the day, they're going to make it to the point where you don't prosper in life. How they threaten you behind fake pages, how they threaten you through people, how they threaten you at the end of the day. To make you feel at the end of the day your voice don't matter. But you matter to the right people. Have a safe year, day, evening, week, weekend. You matter, you're worthy. When God sends the right people into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with no misintentions. And I say that respectfully. They don't dibble and dabble with spiritual magic. They not invading your household. They not sending spiritual in front of your house door. They not sending spiritual from the time that you go from that door to that door to that door. They not having people gang stalk you to project fear in you. They not having a child or elderly or a couple or this person or that person monitoring your every move, regardless of an addict, a sex worker, or regardless to whomever it is at the end of the day that needs a couple of dollars in their pocket. They not doing all that. When God sends the right people into your life, regardless, I don't pray the same, respect the two-way street. It wasn't I'll do you better than you. It was never competition when someone could truly relate to you. And they're not trying to blackmail you against you with malicious intentions because they want you to prosper in life. That ain't just different. When the right people walk into your life, they act their body weight regardless to keeping poverty and pain. My content is not for everyone. And I say that respectfully. I am not a sex worker or an addict Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, regardless of who's trying to blackmail me against me. I never looked at my neighbor like competition, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I never knew it was a crime to say thank you and no thank you at the end of the day. Or excuse me. Never give up on yourself when someone sees you as a threat or someone sees potential within you and they behind the scenes with their little minions and or whatever the case may be. They dodgers just to kick you down. Never allow someone to make you frown when God's maintaining your smile. We aren't the same. I'm far from a hater. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater. Stop the violence in the community. Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater. Stop the violence in the community. I was just recently live. The first live is already up. I'm now a genuine love, respect, and I do not live in fear, and I would never hurt myself, regardless to who's threatening my life at the end of the day, or who's trying to give me warning signs for me to feel like I'm not worthy as a person at the end of the day. Never allow a man or a woman to make you feel like you have to live in fear because they said that your voice does not matter. I'm far from an insecure person. I do love myself, and I would never hurt myself. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day, regardless to who's threatening my life or who's behind the scenes of trying to dim my life. And I say that respectfully. I don't dibble and dabble with spell work, magic, witchcraft, voodoo, or whatever the case may be to kick my neighbor down. It's a sin of thought we all don't pray the same, but I don't respect my neighbor. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. Check out the first live. This is part 2, I guess. No, the train throw me. I gotta go. Peace and respect, some respect, your neighbors, you better damn you like God, I'll go in there, but damn you like stop the violence. I would never hurt myself regards to who's trying to disrespect me. Doesn't matter if it's a man, woman, child, couple, elderly or not at the end of the day. I would never hurt myself. Gang stalking is real. They would try to paint you to be mentally unstable, and nobody will believe it at the end of the day because they're willing to control the narrative because they got so many people behind them at the end of the day to blackmail you against you. But when God sees everything, energy is different, and God was never for like the closet of fame. I would never hurt myself regardless at the end of the day who's behind the scene trying to dim my light. When God's allowing me to at the end of the day why I chose myself today. I don't live in fear, and I would never hurt myself. I go live every night on YouTube at 10:15. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Check out the first live. I was just live at the end of the day. Naya, genuine love, respect. Today is currently December 15th, 2005, and it's currently 11:12 p.m. So this is the second live for today. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. Never give up on yourself because someone wants to discourage you or make you feel that you're not worthy. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully, regardless of what man or woman is threatening my life with trying to attack me at the end of the day. I put everything in my Heavenly Mother Father, God's hands, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself and all my intentions. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. What's up, butterfly? The fact that they doubted you, having the potential, they would never understand that you didn't have to get physical. Continue to elevate, never get discouraged at the end of the day. Even when you got lost in your words, they would never understand it wasn't seeking revenge because besides being your best self vision of yourself, hold on one second, you had part of being a truth teller, wasn't running from your reflection when it come to your past. How unconditional love allowed you to feel like it truly lasts. Understand that you're not hurting yourself with words. That chapter hits different when they don't understand that God's verbs is different when it comes to God's love. Hold on one second, acknowledging your worth that you are worthy. Never dim your light. Hold on one second. Because the devil tried to stop you. You know, I may not make sense to the average person, and that's okay. I would never hurt myself. This is the second live for this evening. The first live is up right now. Check out the first live to the genuine ones only. And I say that respectfully. I'm far from a hater regardless to your tax bracket, culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or age at the end of the day. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I would never hurt myself. And I say that respectfully. Always be yourself. The first live is already up. It's currently December 15th, 2005. I'm on YouTube at 10:15 every night. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and YouTube. Always be yourself. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone, and I always have since day one. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. You know, regardless if you have bad internet connection or something is going on someone's end at the end of the day, That does not mean stop showing up for yourself. That does not mean get discouraged because the enemy's trying to stop you. That does not mean stop pouring into yourself because the enemy wants you to be discouraged or have insecurity at the end of the day. Or they sit there and monitor your every move because they can't wait to say at the end of the day, I told you that person's a crash out. I told you that person's who they say they not at the end of the day. You know, because people pick and choose who could talk about God, spirituality, the devil, the enemy, narcotics and violence at the end of the day, or let alone healing trauma and pain. But when you different and you ain't got no much sense to hurt yourself, others around you, that ain't just different. Confidence is gonna bother certain folks' mental health, regardless of what environment you in. Never give up on yourself. You know, I was spiritually attacked. I was actually attacked. I was part of a hate crime. And I would never hurt myself. And one thing I don't have to do is lie. Regardless who's trying to have me who's trying to blackmail me or trying to dim my light and make me feel that my voice does not matter at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day, let alone hurt my peers around me. How individuals would see that you got potential, they would try to make you homeless, rob you mentally, spiritually, financially. They would monitor your packages, your mail. They would even reroute it or even act like you got at the end of the day. They would hack your devices, your accounts, your emails. They would act like they had conversations with you. Individuals would act like they know you at the end of the day just to set you up to blackmail you against you so you won't prosper in life. So certain folks will see your life, how this type of stuff actually happens. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I would never hurt myself. I am my biggest cheerleader. Always be yourself. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. I would never hurt myself. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. Peace and respect, sir, respect, your neighbors, you better run it on them, you like, gotta go there, but stop the violence.